This is Colin O'Keefe for LXBN TV here again at the 2014 Legal Marketing Association's annual conference. And I am speaking now with Steve Bell. He is the Chief Marketing and Sales Officer at Womble Carlyle Sandridge Rice. Steve, we're just coming out of a session that you spoke on big data in the law. And I know one of the things with big data is that people are swimming in it and they're not sure what to do with it. So how can law firms process all the data that they have to work with?
Well, you're right. There is a ton of data at any law firm. There's data within the law firm. There's data that people provide to law firms. So how does one make meaning out of all this data is the game that we have to play. And to me, the best way to make sense of data is to put in place a very clearly defined step-by-step process that defines marketing and sales and client service. So step by step, how does one transform a company or an individual that you don't know yet, bring them into the network, get to meet them and have a relationship with them, transform them to a client, transform them to an institutional client. What is the process and what are the steps that are required to undertake that whole situation? And then once you've defined the steps, then think, what is the data that I need at each of these steps to advance us to the next step? So that's how data is applied step by step in a systematic way and not simply as random acts of number crunching.
Absolutely. So let's look, again, of course, at big data, but a little bit bigger picture. Let's talk a little bit about the future. Can you forecast a little bit? No one knows for certain, but what are your thoughts on where big data is headed in the legal profession? How is this all going to play out?
I love the commercials that I have seen from IBM. It's called IBM Smarter Planet. One of those commercials has a French bakery that decides on a certain day to bake cookies instead of cakes because it's raining. That's predictive analytics in a bakery or commercial environment. Another one of them is used in the governmental environment where a law officer is drinking coffee in front of a convenience store late at night because predictive analytics has said there's a high chance of crime occurring there at that point in time. So I have this dream about law firms being able to use their data and predictive analytics in order to understand what the future will hold based on data and then position themselves and prepare themselves appropriately. So for instance, it is possible, if we use predictive analytics correctly, to identify a substance that is being consumed by human beings, and yet because of science that's evolving, and we can prove it through data, and the law that's evolving, and again we can prove that through data, the confluence of law and science will create a situation where a substance might become a mass tort opportunity and a law firm can prepare itself in advance. So any number of scenarios that predictive analytics can identify that law firms can position themselves so they can be catchers instead of always followers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, once again, that was Steve Bell of Womble Carlyle. For more of our video interviews from this event, be sure to visit us at lxbn.com/LMA. Thanks for joining me, Steve.
Thank you very much.